Day number 2, Smirzera League number 5. It was a very interesting day 1. You guys can catch up on all the games if you have it on my YouTube. It's also on Twitch, but I know that they're kind of like getting away with VODs a little bit, so I'm trying to upload them to YouTube just to make sure that if anyone wants to go back and watch them, they totally can. And you know, just keep in mind, I'm not a professional. I'm just a weird PUBG person who decided to cast, and for some reason they like me enough to have me around. So here I am doing all the fun stuff, and we have a couple of teams. We have 2 teams with just a 3-man, but other than that, it should be very similar to yesterday. I think I did fine with all the team colors for today. There might be like 2 that are kind of similar but different enough, like 55 and 4-0 maybe aren't the best, and then OP and quad, but like, hey, you guys are, it'll be fine. Still, it is the teams that you know and love, the ones that you come here for. So let us see where Circle goes first, and I'm gonna guess Southwest. Oh, okay, it was West. It wasn't Southwest, but it was West. I'll take it. BL taking some shots over at Fairy Tale, right? 55 damage with an iron sight. That's still impressive, but will not get a knock. And we'll start out this game relatively quiet. But how are you guys feeling considering everything, you know, with EWC around the corner? Yeah, because EWC, the round of 16 is this coming weekend, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then finals is going to be next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So this weekend is going to be 3 game days, and each team is going to only have 2 game days because they're split into Group A, B, and C, and then each group will play twice. So Group A and B will play Friday, Group A and C will play Saturday, and then Group B and C will play Sunday. It's typically how it goes. I could be wrong slightly, but it's approximately that. So pretty generic. And then the week after is going to be the same 16 teams and then just 18 matches all back-to-back, unless I'm going absolutely bonkers and they're going to do something different, which I don't know. Speaking of which, actually, oh my God. Can we talk about what we have all heard after we see this fight actually about to pop off? So BL should be calling out. The rest of Rock is incoming. Spots out Ackerman. Good shots from BL. Very solid. And he does have... has to be careful not to get knocked, but Griffith telling him to back off. And the rest of Rock is now on their way, trying to see if they can keep this fight in their favor. BL is completely safe up there for now, unless a God tier nade would change it, but they're not going for the res. Slightly surprised by that, but I guess not really. RBN gonna go up top, try to take some space so he can peek down, but BL is actually gonna be the one who engages. He's gonna find a second one, and Kampf, now he's gonna try to throw a nade onto BL, who is down low and doesn't have much HP. Doesn't have a first aid. He only has a couple of band-aids, which don't feel too good. But you know what? If he survives, and that's the main thing. So Santastico is going to cover them from behind while Sold's ensuring the far-off assistance as RBN decides to come back and just actually go for the fight. And it looks like BL did get one flush, so Kampf is the only one below him that they actually have to deal with immediately. But he's probably just hiding behind some cover. Yeah. It's not ideal. And oh, Griffith is actually going for the res. BL spots them, does some damage, gets the knock. That's a good spot by him. And then Santastico is actually going to go down, but RBN is going to finish it out. So 4 kills, and BL is going to collect 3 of those. So it looks like Bestia is going to send just Mime on that, but 55 and Furia fighting each other again. Sam Crow has to be careful of Kraken. He did put some shots into him. It looked like he could have actually done more. But Karak trying to tell Kraken to buzz off as Tony is inside this compound with no one to help him out. Some shots, good from Karak. And Tony has to time this perfectly. I think he could get a nade if he wanted to. But will he go for it? Well, spots Outposta, good knock, and now he's going to go straight for the nade, which I think is a good call, but the Panzerfaust is not going to hit! But he doesn't need the Panzerfaust, and Haven's just going to go ahead and collect the point before anything else, as Karak is just running down, and Kraken... Wait a second. Did Kraken already die? No. Kraken is where? Oh, he's going far around, but Psycho actually should be able to see him. Psycho spots him, gets some good damage, doesn't quite get the knock. It's a little unfortunate because we all know how good these teams are at drive-bys. Kraken onto 1 HP. Psycho does not have much space, but Samcro actually going to go ahead and get down, and now it's just Karak on the side. And they have 2 up here versus just Karak. Kraken gets Psycho too, and never mind. Furia annihilate 55 immediately. All right. Liquid going south here. Falcon's just going to go in normally, and Rock is not shooting at anyone really. They're just telling everyone that this is their compound, but 2 teams going out early doors. It's going to be interesting. Speaking of interesting, we do have PD pushing towards Zekwe, if I'm saying that correct. I think I am. But looks like they're just going to dip out. Going to be fine. Nothing too crazy. Kind of surprised that we don't have more people in already. I don't know. Maybe I'm just impatient. My brain, I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to something. But to not have anyone up here is kind of surprising to me so far. Maybe I'm just used to Batu. But teams taking space. This is kind of what I was expecting, which I think we didn't see a lot of in EWC when... I guess I didn't. Oh, so I looked at the Twires afterwards, and in EWC, you didn't really see teams take space like this. Like, you didn't see a 2-2 split between any, but I mean, look here immediately. You see 1-2-2, 2-2-2, 3-2-2, and then all the teams just taking so much space. So Luminosity is kind of like the only team that's like clumped together, except for teams that are rotating, which doesn't really count. But it's just good to see teams taking space rather than just all going to one compound and just praying that circle goes to them. Might be toxic of me to say that, but you know what? Whatever. All right. Luminosity. Bizzler. He does hear him. Slabby is down there. I don't know if they can hear him from up here if he really makes noise. But Vox is starting to push a little bit, trying to see if he can get an immediate knock for the engagement. Kraken has to be careful because he is kind of close by. You got to imagine that PD thinks that someone's here. Like, there's no way that they just assume that this is free. I do actually want to see if... Oh, no. Oh, no. Poor guy. Yeah. I'm sorry, but that was to be expected to some extent. Wait, how did Reggie B take damage? What from? Was it from, like, Lopez? Might have been from Lopez. Because typically teams should look over here. Especially... Oh, shoot, speaking of which. Silzen. Well, Furia, they lost 1 to Pippa. And then Silzen should be lost. Yep. Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. Sometimes you like jump into the car and like you're holding W and it just doesn't move, so you have to like press it again. But it looks like Luminosity did finally start their push, not even their push, but start their fight with PD, and Slabby and Oni go down, and Bizzler took some damage, but they'll pick up 2 kills. don't get knocked, and the pan's gonna save him. It's fine. Circle does go to power grid, which interesting. I haven't seen that in a while, it feels like. But let's see. Does anyone take it? Do they shoot them as they go for it? Bummer. I thought that'd be fun. Well, it doesn't look like they do, but Empire Gaming is a move on. Let's get a move on. And Richie B probably at least sees them. Might comment out a little bit. Well, it looks like they're going to pass by without losing anyone, at least so far. Michael, the last one to make it in. They're going to take the dip south of power, which are very strong. Apologies for clearing my throat. All right, question. I don't know if there's any pro teams or coaches in the chat, but I do have a question for people. Are Katsuya and Duel, do they play very similarly? Because I feel like all of today and yesterday I've seen them just in blue kind of rotating very late. Is it just me, or is that like similar in those play styles? Like, yeah, like are they similar? And if not, explain the difference to me, because it seems like they are pretty darn close to each other. But for nothing, they got to be careful because they do have Nzikwe right above them, at least one of them. And Nzikwe, they only came in with 3, remember that. So getting a knock here would only... Oh, he should get knocked here. He doesn't get knocked, that's amazing. All right, well, super fortunate for Nzikwe, but only leveling the playing field for the most part between 4-0 and Nzikwe. Ooh, Vox though. I'm gonna go ahead and get the knock on the Glock. And where was he at? I guess it was just a good shot. Actually, I should be looking at Vox, because he's the one with the bolty. So let's see if he hits it. But PD, they already know that they have 2 down, so they're just making sure. But it looks like Bestia lost 1, and now Furia, they want to aggress onto this. Haven, it looks like he's going to prioritize going for the flush. Push coming in, won't find a knock. It might do some damage. No, it didn't do any damage. Haven all by himself right now. Posa did take Batu's spot. Glock gets flushed away. And speaking of getting away, it looks like Haven is going to do the exact same. Just say goodbye. It was nice. Oh, no. Well, that's what happens. Haven just hits a tree and then goes down. Circle does shift south. As I mean, Haven's just dead. There's no way around it. But Falcons, I don't like this compound, but it's a strong compound considering the zone. It might 2-2. The south is actually going to be pretty free because of the hard shift. So Toyo can 2-2 split this pretty easily. And then we have all these teams that are a little bit screwed. And Gabri, poor guy. He's just close to so many teams. Ooh, Bestia four-manning it. Are they just going to send it to a check? Was it Bestia that... Alright, they seem to like to do this a lot where it's just essentially split between 2 different shacks, but Katsuya now, they're doing something similar, but we'll see where they go. Roth is meeting a rock. Between a Roth and a hard place. Please kill me now. I'm so sorry for making that joke, but I had to. It was too good. Katsuya looks like they might be going for this shack, which is free currently. No? might hop out, but it is like center zone. You cannot get more center zone right now. But OP, ooh, actually Lopez could get a sideline onto this, and I think that this was the team that, yeah. So they're in the shack, so we should be able to get res, no problem. And Lopez could make things difficult for them in just a second or two, but he would be oversighted by LG. Now they know that he's there. It'll be difficult for him. And actually, he's super split away from the rest of his team. I did not realize that. I feel like they shouldn't have just one up here, because his knock potential, it feels like, is super high. Did some damage. Ooh. Did more damage than I expected. OP and PD and Furia. Smirzera, I think, is just trying to look for more meds, but Rock with a very aggressive split, but it's working out for him so far. And Poza, is he on a bike? Oh my gosh, he's not even on. He's crouch running into the zone. And he's been spotted by RBN. Well, Circle does shift south. Falcons now in a good spot. Typically we see it ends like over here, I want to say. But PD is just absolutely booking it. And I think, no, that tick actually, I think, saved him. But Katsuya, they're trying to push in closer because their spot is no longer center zone. DIY is going to go down. He's not really safe, but he's safe enough, I guess. Falcons just peppering them with lead. And I don't think they're trying to go for it just yet, but Falcons have to be careful because they do have Bestia. 2 knocks, ooh, but the trade, and Kickstart's already downed. Taking H-Win, they're so far away. I don't think that they can help at all. And DraftKings can just completely res his team. Well, 2 Falcons are going to go down. It's almost guaranteed. As LG kind of do crash in. It's such a weird spot. Luminosity fighting Empire. 4-0 go down immediately. DIY knocked again. Snakers went down, but he was kind of safe. Vox, though, is not incredibly safe, and he does go down to Shinboy. Flushed away by Michael. And if there's one thing you can bet on for this Empire team, you can bet your butt they are aggressive. Luke 12, though, actually going to shoot him in the back, and he's going to make it inside, but that's going to stall out their push. And OP actually take the fight to Empire. And now I think they might have to back off of this LG fight. Empire's in a rough spot, just because they have to deal with so many people. Amigos can actually take the north. Wait, where's the rest of his team? Oh, they went south. Interesting. I guess they're just clearing it out. 12 teams up. It feels like we don't have a lot of teams. Shinboy, though, is going to go down. LG wanting it to be aggressive. DraftKings going to get taken down. Now LG start their push. Snakers, the door, the trade. 1 goes down, 2 go down. It's just Snakers, and Snakers going to lose it. But all of Empire is just down to 1 man. And now OP, they could push this if they want to, but they have to be careful because Vapesker is actually taking some shots over at them and the rest of the Amigos. As 2 crates do fall beside them. Smirzera making it in. They have kills, so that's not really a problem for them. Oh, just 1 more shot, but it's not going to land. And now... All right, never mind. Furia go down. Amigos did find him. And now OP and Katsuya in a decent spot, honestly. If Katsuya can survive, this is going to be good. But surviving is the question. In Zeekway, they're just going to go ahead and get together with Vinny. And they have a rough time to get into this next zone. Liquid does control a lot of territory. But Bessie are fine. Toyo, Rock, Amigos, and Falcons all need to make it in, though. Looks like DNL. The vehicle went down. But they should have enough vehicles, especially since they've been kind of free to take this north side for a while. DNL definitely has a good spot for them to play so far, at least one of them. But they'll want to spread out as much as they can to try and make sure that they can cover each other, take some shots. Whoa! Rock actually going to crash into Falcons. What the heck? Tig going to go down. The Molly's going to find him. H-Win goes for the med. Is going to get the full med kit off. Doesn't know where they are. BL is actually going to go ahead and knock RBN. And Santastico is going to fall. Lopez, though, taking some shots. It looks like... Ooh, okay. A lot of interesting things happen on in the kill feed. Solds, though. The last one up versus H-Win. He's going to make it over the wall. And actually, it looks like Empire named Zekwe. Oh, man, I want to switch fights because I want to catch it all. I'm so greedy. It's fine. That's a good nade. It goes too far past, and the liquid mortars are not going to be doing too much. Rock do go down. H-Win found that kill. And at least they have some kill points for this, but Balefrost just holding an angle. The bait, well, he's going to go ahead and find one and flush him, but get shot in the back. He was very greedy for it, but didn't play for anything else. And Bessie and Toyo now. It is just DraftKings who's left. Goes for the flush. DraftKings with the flick. He is going to find him, and he is going to go down to blue, possibly. I don't think he'll be able to crawl in time. But Katsuya now, they're able to kind of play from there. They have held on for long enough that once they get rid of Toyo, it'll be fine. Especially if H-Win, they can collect him as well. Liquid starting to push out into space. Try to take as much terrain as they can for themselves. Capitan, the only one alive. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 solos. Capitan, he's probably just hiding, honestly. Oh, he can't even... He's not interested. Well, Nate is going to find him. I'm surprised that he wasn't hiding inside. I feel like that's quote-unquote the safest, I guess. But it's difficult no matter where you go. But Liquid have now secured that they're south. Oh, poor H-Win. Technically got some placement. Yeah. One shot from the many teams that are firing at him, and Falcons go down. Only 4 points this game, but, you know, it happens. Emergency flare comes for who? OP, interesting. Was not thinking that it was OP who, or, yeah, OP that was going to call it in. Katsuya versus Liquid in some peak battles. And Ziggy is actually going to go down to Katsuya. And they do have to make a move. So this will... Wait, no, they don't actually have to make a move. I lied. The util spam from Liquid coming in. But the blue zone is honestly going to be the only thing that's kind of the biggest issue. Never mind, that nade is really good. Cowboy, he gets caught and should be picked up from Amigos. Well, he's actually safe right there. How much blue zones do they have? Alright, so no more blue zones, which is kind of the biggest one in this position for them. But Rotharel are going to go ahead and push out. Try to keep Liquid off of their backs as Alo still just the anchor of the south. Roth getting a couple of first aids because he has been a long Why? I don't know why they shot it. But they did. Katsia are probably in the worst position just because two teams want to fight them. And the other teams aren't going to do anything. But Luke 12 with a nice shot to take down Cowboy. But it seems like now they kind of want to shift their focus on to OP. If Amigos can make sure that Katsuya don't really push out. So with the circle shift, they're just going to refocus. And they have to make it in. So you imagine 3 of them are probably going to take vehicles. Maybe? I don't know. That's where my mind goes. Poonage, though. One more shot will take him down. But Amigos, they're just peppering Katsuya. It's so mean at this point, it feels like. Emergency flares coming in. Try and provide them some cover. Pippa cannot go on the roof just yet. I mean, roof is just out of play, period, for now. It shifted onto Amigos, who still have oversight of it. And Liquid honestly still have decent oversight, so it's not too bad. He did see Katsuya for a pixel. I saw it on his screen, so I know that he has that info. But now DIY going to find Luke. And Rello actually going to knock DIY. Oh, no. And with circle closing, they can't really go for the res. Smokes is going to be the only thing that they got, but it is just going to be rude with what they're going to do to this team. Halo going to find Cowboy. But they still have to get a move on. Ooh. Well, Roth actually just denies points. And Purdy Curdy is in, so they're going to make a car fort for now. Pippa, nice spot, good shot. Poonage is still alive. I mean, he still is util and stuff, but it is almost a pure road ending, which I haven't seen. This is... It's not a common circle, to say the least. And Liquid, they're going to use some cover flares. Well, there you go, Empire. And that's some pretty good cover, honestly. They have a little bit of a dip to the right as well. So they're technically in. If they can go ahead and get the knock on to the player coming down. Vape Skur, nice shot by Sparking. But Ziggy, he's close by. They don't show... Ooh, they don't show emergency flares, which hopefully they'll come out with soon. But Luke 12, good nade. Ooh, the bounce over is going to do a little bit of damage, but not enough. Has to run away. The nade wasn't cooked enough. It goes inside of the van, but doesn't knock him. OP pushing out. Curdy has to be careful. Doesn't actually stun him. The push coming from 2 angles on to Liquid. Curdy, he's going to find one. He gets stunned, has to back off for a second. Util getting thrown at Liquid. Curdy, he senses blood in the water trying, but Frost is going to find him. Halo with some good shots, but Pippa going to be the one who finds him, and Sparking is doing work on the other side. He is 1v4ing. He only has one person left to fight. Sparking, he hit him with a molly. Sparking got all 4 of them. I'm so sad that I missed it. But now Liquid have a fighting chance. Pippa overwatching with an MG3, one of the nastiest guns in the game. Luke has a FAMAS. And now they're going to try to reset on to the dot and have that be their win condition. Luke 12, they don't have any armor. They're trying to get some util. Picks up smokes, and he does get a vest, which is massive for him. Sparking doesn't have one. They throw a couple of stuns. They do have he has 2 lethal now, which is more than they had before. Just gonna smoke them off, trying to force them into playing into an unfavorable position for them. Stunning, trying to make sure that they're discombobulated and can't do anything. This is gonna need to be in some insane play by Liquid, but he cannot quite find it. Sparking, though, is gonna find one. The headshots, the man from Brazil is just better! He finds almost all of them. Can he get Sir as well? He used up his util. Now Luke is pushing from the other side. They know exactly where he is. Gonna go for the flush. He has a little bit of a dip to play, which is massive for him. Zer pops up, and it is too much, and Liquid from an impossible position get 10